Ever wonder why some people are quiet and others are more vocal? Not everyone will voice their opinion, nor will everyone bite their tongue. Hmm. Notice the ones with the headphones on. There's also the ones engaged in the book. They are called introverts and extroverts. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Introvert, extroverts. While one talks, the other thinks, yet communicate at two different frequencies, which is true. You have to understand we're dealing with two different spectrums. Now, this is a piece that I have written called Introvert, Extrovert. Just going to give you a little bit of it. Okay, explains why they are worlds apart. Okay? Worlds apart. It's all a matter of energy. The world of introversion is full of observation, perception, and focus. Observation requires thought and process. The perception is generally the vibes they get. Focus is their key to success. That's the introvert side of it. Introverts, the bottom line is introverts are people that we are in our heads a lot. And I mention observation because a lot of times when people mention introverts, they tend to always think about thinking, which we do a lot of. I am an introvert myself. But thinking is not always us tangibly thinking about a particular thing or something we read. But the other part of the thinking is observation. We're known to be people watchers. We're not stalkers. We're not peeping toms, but we're people watchers. We like to sit in the park and see people walk past, and people with their children, and people with their significant other hugged up, kissed up, just walking down. You like to see elderly people, and you can tell that they've been married over 50 years and they still in love because grandpa just still got this big smile on his face because he's with grandma and they just happy to hold hands in the park. You paying attention to those things. You seeing the cars drive by and you guessing where they're going and what type of how much money they pay for it. That's just the world of introversion. And I believe that we came out the womb that way. I'll go a little bit more into details. Now here we go with extroverts. Extroversion is a world of opportunity. Now, I want to be clear about opportunity because when we think of the word opportunity or opportunists, we often think of criminals. Ready to get into trouble, ready to get into something illegal or do something wrong. But opportunists can be positive and negative. So I don't want you to think of them in a negative sense. Extroverts, I consider them to be opportunists. Now, I came up with this theory because when you're on the highway and you see people just driving and just seem like they just always get in and get out, I like to think of them as an extrovert trait. It dawned on me one day extroverts are always looking for the next opportunity, whether it's getting a space in traffic, whether it's and they always or they find out that there's an opening for something, or they always come up with ideas. They always pitching ideas, and they always going at the stuff. They're what we call movers and shakers. They just people, or a term that that most successful people are known to be goal getters. So that's how I came up with the term of them being an opportunist. Let me finish this up. Extroversion is a world of opportunity, people, and fame. Opportunities give them a chance to advance. People connect them to resources. And one of the things about extroverts, they are big networkers. They love to network and socialize with people. Um, and the fame allows the world to know their name. Now, when I say fame, I'm not necessarily saying they have to be of celebrity or of somebody that has a big name. But you could just take the guy in the neighborhood that plays ball real good, or the girl that she's one that knows how to do hair real well. They just known for something. They have a booming catering business. Maybe she's just an excellent um, designer. She's just designed pretty clothes, and she's popular in school. And um, usually they popular, well known. They got a big personality, seemingly. They just people know them, like them, and take to them because they even have a great skill, talent. They're good at what they do. She could be a great dancer. He could be a great ball player, or she could very well be a great basketball player herself, or gymnast, whichever works. So that's why their worlds are our worlds are apart as introverts and extroverts, because introverts we're in our head, where extroverts are more uh, present with things that's going on the outside. They're more present and familiar. But I want to point this out too. Even though we're both different and we go about things differently, I want to point out something else. The four things that we want. Even though we both operate different, we both want the same things. Four things we want. We want strength, hope, clarity, and wisdom. Strength helps us cope. Hope gives us the will to live. Clarity confirms what we know to be true. Wisdom challenges our thinking and builds our character. We both want those things, but how we go about them are differently. Introverts are just a little bit more quiet and and we're not crowd people. We don't care to be around the crowds a long time. We can, or I discovered earlier this year in a trip, I'm not a person that can hang. And what I mean by that is, I'm not a person that's going to go out every day with people, and I'm not a person that's going to stay out all hours of the night. I'll go out with you, but then there's a time I want to go home and relax and recharge. While extroverts want to stay out longer, and in their mind, they don't want to rest until they die. That's an extrovert for you. Yep. So, and let me leave you with this. Where do we turn? Now, remember, extroverts are curious people with concerns. They won't rest till they are assisted, aided, or have answers. That's an extrovert. I didn't tell y'all this part. One of the things that I believe that drives an extrovert, two things I believe that drives an extroverts, and that is curiosity and concern. You wonder why they always ask a bunch of questions. You wonder why they always seem to have conversation and the introvert doesn't have much conversation, because I believe they have a much stronger curiosity than introverts. That's true. Okay, so that's why they're restless. They won't rest till they are assisted, aided, or have answers. Once they get the help, they have hope for another day. Ah, introverts, on the other hand, prefer alone time to find strength despite their struggles or stress. In moments of weakness or weariness, we embrace wisdom. And somehow, both of them manage to get clarity for their situation. See, that's the difference between these two spectrums. No one is better than the other. It's just the way we are. So don't feel bad that you're more quiet than most people, or you might be the person that might be or outgoing. You are who you are. Accept it. But let's respect each other's boundaries. So if an introvert doesn't feel like going out, they don't feel like talking, don't always assume something is wrong, because there really isn't. They just having their little quiet time. So that's the difference between introvert Extrovert. Didn't mean to be 10 minutes, but thank you for tuning in. Bye bye.